So, if you don't know Griff, here's Griff. Back in the day, I used to do a little podcast called Mass Adoption, Mass with a E, which is the only type of adoption I care about. And we talked about his life story. But if you don't want to listen to me speak for 20 minutes on or me and him speak for like an hour and a half in a recorded podcast, you can also read about him on Google. Just like Google this guy and his adventures across the world, or just listen to this recent one he's going to share right now.
Yeah, I'm very Googleable. Actually, Cointelegraph made a crazy article the other day. That was kind of funny. But, let me see if I can make this mirror. Hey, there we go. So, impromptu talk. Had no plan on doing this today. Last week, so the Giveth Galaxy has a wide range in the space. We have kind of helped incubate Bright ID. Obviously, DAppNode came off of it. Obviously, Giveth, the Giveth applications have come, IDEN 3, and Commons Stack, Token Engineering Commons. This is all part of the Giveth Galaxy. And for many years, Giveth has been working tirelessly as a nonprofit. And today, I'm going to make a crazy announcement. We're going to create the GIVeconomy. And this was not planned at all. I made these slides like just a couple of hours, the hours before this, because I'm replacing someone else. So, hey, why not, right? So, first I'm going to talk about what we already have. So, the Giveth has donation applications, 2 of them right now. First is the one on Giveth. Our dApps are donation applications. So the first is on Giveth.io. This is the like default way to go. If you're a donor, you go to Giveth.io and you can find really awesome places to donate. If you want to support the protests happening in Colombia, you can go to Giveth.io and your donations go straight to them. It's very similar to Gitcoin, except it's not for open source. It's for actual nonprofits that are doing work on the ground. Or open source. It's just a little more general purpose. If you're a verified project on Giveth.io, then you can use Giveth Trace. On Giveth Trace, we actually allow donors to trace their donations. They can see exactly where their money goes. So if you donate $100, then the charity actually has to say, "Oh yeah, we're requesting funds for $1,000 to do this," and you can see that your $100 went to that request. It's a very cool application, and it actually just went live last week. The whole point I was telling you about the Giveth Galaxy is because last week we launched DAppNode launched their DAO, and the node token. So if you have a DAppNode, go check for your node drop. We also launched Giveth Trace, and the Commons Stack launched the Token Engineering Commons. So it's just really cool to be up here to tell you about the next announcement. And it's the GIVeconomy. So the GIVeconomy is really built around givebacks. As most of you have probably heard about, there's these things called tax-deductible donations. And if you want a tax-deductible donation, you have to be a registered nonprofit in whatever country you're in. And also, you have to actually be paying taxes in that country to even get your tax-deductible donation. So if you want to donate to a registered nonprofit, but you pay taxes in a different country, you get nothing. Also, how does that even work? Like, what, you get a deduction on your taxes? Like, you get to pay less taxes a little bit? It's just a really crappy system, and it doesn't work in the global world that we live in. Like, come on, we can donate anywhere in the world with crypto. So we need a crypto-native solution that models after the same dynamics that we know are working. Every donation, every country in the world has taxable donations, from America to Iran. And so let's just model after something that works. So givebacks will actually give anyone who donates on the Giveth platform to a verified project will get up to 75% of their donation back in Give tokens. And this is how we exit to the community. This is how Giveth is actually going to create an economy that manages the Giveth platform and the Giveth applications. So the token holders will be donors. The Giveth economy and the Giveth applications will be built for donors, by donors, and governed by donors. And the way this will work is that every 2 weeks we'll have a donation round. And kind of like how Balancer tracks liquidity over multiple weeks, we will count how many people donated. And the more money that was donated, the more givebacks that we give up until a point. Every 2 weeks, we'll have this donation round, and there'll be so many give tokens up for grabs. And up to 75% of the value of your donation at the time you donate will be sent back to you in give tokens. If that we'd run out, if we can't match everyone up to 75%, because gosh, so many people are donating on Giveth, well then you'll get less donations, but you'll find out at the end of the round. And it's really important, to me at least, that this is not a way to buy give tokens. It wouldn't make sense. You're going to lose money if you're just trying to buy give tokens. You can go to the open market if you want to buy give tokens. This is just to reward real donations. So it's important that it's not fully matched, because otherwise it's not a donation. Another important part of course, of any economy is the initial distribution of tokens, the give drop. So we're going to find, we're still working on this. This is very early days in the Giveth economy. We haven't settled everything. But of course, we're going to donate to all the donors in the crypto space. Of course, Giveth donors will get a fat stack. Gitcoin donors, and we'll probably also include many of the other donation-style DAOs and other people anyone who has gone to Camp Decentral and actually used the Giveth platform, for instance, you will get a give drop. I see a lot of Decentralites in the crowd. So anyone who worked at the Common Stack, anyone who worked in any of the Giveth ecosystem projects and earned money on the Giveth platform and was paid through that system, boom, give drop is yours. But not only do you get a give drop, you'll also get a give stream. So the give tokens and this initial token distribution is like the gift that keeps on giving. We're going to give you initial tokens, and then we're also going to give you a stream of tokens we haven't actually finalized through a DAO vote yet on this, but likely for the next 5 years. So for 5 years, every day, you'll just get a little trickle of tokens that says, Giveth loves you, and Giveth wants you to have more governance rights. And the idea of this is that the Giveth economy is going to start out kind of small. We don't have a lot going on. We're just starting. But as we grow, the economy will expand, kind of like the universe has expanded. The give drop is like it's like the Big Bang, right? And the give stream is the expanding universe that models the expanding economy. And as the economy grows, then we can handle more tokens in the system. We're going to partner with OneHive. I've worked really a lot with OneHive. They have an amazing system called Gardens. And these Gardens use conviction voting, which is a project that came out of the Common Stack, an idea that came out of the Common Stack that was implemented by OneHive that allows parallel paths to be pursued. It's a very cool governance system. So the Give Garden is how we actually will advance the Giveth economy. And it's really cool. Anyone can propose an idea. Say, hey, I want some give tokens to do, to actually improve the give dApps in a certain way. Like I don't know, maybe we want to add traceability for a different system or something, change the way traceability works. So you could make that proposal, and instead of requiring a yes or no vote and a time-based voting, that proposal just sits there until it has enough conviction, enough people with tokens have voted on it that it passes. So it's not a yes-no thing. And it's really cool. It makes actually voting on DAO proposals kind of like donating on Giveth. You just see the projects that you like, and you're like, yeah, I like that one. I'll throw some tokens at it. Oh, yeah, I'll throw some tokens at that one, too. And I don't know anything about that one, so I'll just keep going. Oh, yeah, this is cool, right? And it's very low bandwidth, way easier than most DAO voting systems, and way more fun, right? And now, so that's what we'll launch with. We'll launch with our DAO. We'll have a token issuance. Oh, that's the other cool thing with Give Gardens. Let me just go back. Again, I didn't really prepare for this, so thanks, guys. Thanks. The Garden has a really cool issuance policy. So unlike most DAOs where you just have like tokens minted when money comes in, or you have just like a block reward, like every so often tokens are made, the Give economy is a little bit more dynamic. With Gardens, you have a dynamic issuance policy where you say, hey, the DAO should have about, let's just say 20% of all tokens in existence in it. And if it starts accumulating money, which I'll explain how it can accumulate money in a second, if it starts accumulating funds, then and it goes over the 20%, then tokens will slowly start to get burned until it reaches back to 20%. So in that way, it can have a deflationary aspect to the economy. But if the DAO is spending money on great proposals because it's trying to advance the economy and grow, then it'll also issue currencies. But only so like if the DAO only has 15% and not 20, then it'll slowly be minting tokens to bring it back up to that target percentage. So it's a very cool dynamic issuance policy that will help balance the economy. And that's what we're going to start with. Oh, actually, there's another one here that's not here. We're going to have, of course, Give Mining and Give Staking. Liquidity is really critical in any economy. If you want your economy to survive, you have to have an ample amount of liquidity mining. Otherwise, if there's not a solid market, then your economy will, in a bear market, it'll crash, and in a bull market, it'll explode. And that's not actually healthy for getting shit done, right? Our goal is not to make money. It's really not. Our goal is to actually, build the future of giving and make it something that we can all enjoy. So, but to do that, to have an economy, we need to have liquidity. So we'll have a liquidity mining program right out the gate, and the liquidity mining participants will also receive a give stream, right? So it's not like it won't be a big stress to the economy. And also along with that, we'll also have Give Staking. So if you it's really cool with Gardens. We plan on rewarding the people who are voting in the Give Gardens and participating in the Give economy. But we don't want to necessarily pay people to vote, because then you get some weird dynamics. So we only want really curious people who want to participate in the governance system to be rewarded. So we have to also have a staking system where if people don't want to vote, they can get the same rewards just by holding the token. The hodlers get rewarded, and the governance people get rewarded at the same amount. So it's a staking pool. And that's because we really want to reward, with the liquidity mining program, that could pull people out of Gardens. So we have to reward governance and people who are participating. But then there's weird dynamics. These are things you have to worry about. Thank God we started the token engineering comments, huh? Okay, so the Give Future. That's what we're going to launch with. But there's some really cool things coming up. First is Give Curation. So one of the things that we took out of scope of the initial launch is having a decentralized way to verify projects. We're going to start with a very centralized approach. Any nonprofit, whether it's registered or not, they can apply to us, and we will look them up. We'll talk to them. We'll have this whole process of verifying projects. It's going to be a lot of work. Probably going to have to hire a bunch of people. If anyone needs a job, if anyone wants to do that kind of thing, come on in. We'll need your help. But we're going to verify projects manually. And that sucks. We don't want to. It's not part of the plan. So what we're going to do as soon as we can, and we're going to pursue these paths, these parallel paths. That's a cool thing with conviction voting. You can build multiple teams and pursue parallel paths. One of the most important projects is to take that point of centralization away and actually allow Give token holders to curate which projects deserve givebacks. This is a relatively complicated system. I'm not going to go into explaining it up here because it's probably going to change anyway as we evolve. But in the long and short of it is that Give token holders will be able to stake their tokens behind a project. They will earn tokens through liquidity mining. Not liquidity mining, through staking on projects for their work in curating the economy. Because it's important to reward people who are doing work to make your economy function. And so if you love a project, you could donate to that project, or you could stake Give tokens behind that project. And the longer you lock up your Give tokens, the more conviction that you have behind that project, and the more Give tokens that you lock in, the more give backs the donors to that project will receive. So you're really incentivizing future donations. But if someone is if that project only has stakers, then the project's not getting any money. So there will naturally be this balance between donations and staking. It'll be very interesting. It's going to be a very interesting system. If anyone wants to help us build it, oh man, I got ideas. Let's talk. The next one is give matching. And I think we all know how bold and awesome Gitcoin quadratic funding is. We love it. Giveth loves it. We want it for causes. This is kind of in fact, Giveth partnered with Cause in 2019? Was it? ETH Denver 2020. I met Willie at ETH Denver. He gave this amazing presentation and built an amazing project called Cause that was all about like allowing donors to just donate to causes, and then the money trickle down into the places that it needs to go. And so following that cause model, we want to have a similar system where there will be different causes, and that based on the donations that the groups receive in these 2-week donation rounds, money will trickle down to them through quadratic funding. Quadratic funding is a lot of work, and we will definitely be wanting to work with CLR Fund and Gitcoin to implement this and use their expertise as much as we can. And then we have GiveFi. So one thing, we've been running the Giveth Trace platform for, 3 years almost. And money has just always been sitting there in the Giveth bridge. Actually, the Giveth bridge, by the way, was the first bridge to ever happen on Ethereum. The bridge Rinkeby to Ethereum. That was our scaling solution. And that bridge has held at least $20,000 for the last 3 years. Imagine if that was earning interest in DeFi, how much that could have actually earned. Because sometimes, during the bull markets, it gets wild, it's ridiculous. And so we want to bring Giveth into the DeFi space and allow the excess capital that's just sitting on the platform to actually be earning interest and rewarding the Give token economy. So the interest, so anytime someone donates, it would go into the Giveth platform, and it would sit in smart contracts. That would there'd probably be like a cold wallet, hot wallet solution, where funds in the cold wallet would actually be earning interest in DeFi, and then buying Give tokens on the open market and sending those tokens to the Give Garden. And in that way, we can use those funds that are earning to actually continue to improve the Giveth platform without charging any fees to any project. Yeah. It's really, and this was actually part of the cause system as well. It's really important to Giveth that we never charge fees to anyone, neither donors nor projects. This is a free public good for all to enjoy. But of course, to make these things happen, you have to find creative ways. And this is the creative way that we can satisfy our requirements to give public good to everyone. And then this one, okay, this is not the real name. We haven't figured out a name for this. It's called GIRVs. No, it's not going to be called GIRVs. We don't know. We were debating the name actually just before this. Like, what do we call these things? I think it was Willie's idea. I don't know. Don't blame me for this one. But GIRVs, working title, are actually going to be microeconomies for every project on the Giveth platform. Every nonprofit that comes to the platform we'll have to figure out what it takes for them to get to this status. But if they are, a verified project or have enough Give tokens staked behind them, they will actually get their own bonding curve. And so when someone donates to a project, they get givebacks, right? That's how we're starting. Up to 75% of their donation will come in givebacks. Now, when GIRVs, working title, is implemented, then we will actually, the base will create a bonding curve with Give tokens in it. And when someone donates, they'll get partially Give tokens, and the other part will actually go into the bonding curve. I guess I should explain bonding curves. Bonding curves are really simple, actually. They don't seem complicated. They sound really complicated, but it's just a smart contract, a little program on the blockchain that when you send money into it, it mints tokens. And when you send tokens to it, the tokens are destroyed, and it releases collateral that it's holding. Because, smart contracts are cool. They're programs that can hold money. So we'll create a smart contract, a little program that can hold Give tokens. And when you send Give tokens into it, it'll mint tokens for that project. And then the person who donated will get project tokens. And what's really cool about bonding curves is that when you send money to it, it actually also changes the price of the token. It's an algorithmic price discovery mechanism for low liquidity markets. It's very important for, and you know, nonprofits are generally going to be living in low liquidity markets. So it's very important to have accurate price discovery in your economy. So if I do a give back, maybe the price of the token was 1 give, but I will actually get like 10 gives back, so I would get 10 project tokens, but now the price would be 1.1 give. So if the project, when we have to really spec this system out, and if anyone wants to help us, you know, we're always looking for help. But the project will likely get a bunch of tokens in their own economy to start. And so those tokens will actually go up in value. And these microeconomies around for the project that they get, they can do whatever they want with it. It'll be super cool. I'm very excited to see what nonprofits, what creative ideas people do. And when somebody hits something that's super cool, it'll likely be available for the other Giveth projects. And it's a way that we can collectively innovate around microeconomies for good. And yeah, it'll be really fun. We'll see how it goes. It's a huge experiment. There'll be lots of token engineering commons work around it. But these are like the big projects that we plan on implementing within the GIVeconomy. And then after that, really, it's up to you guys. Because I'm looking around and it's like, man, most of these guys are going to get a give drop. So, so it'll be super cool. And I'm excited to see what you guys can do. So thank you, guys. Any questions? Or do I have time for questions? Okay, cool.
Yeah, again, if there are any questions, guys, feel free to just come up here and talk to the mic so that people can see in the live stream.
Thank you. Hi, Griff. I wanted to ask if are you going to be able to delegate voting power in Giveth? And I also wanted to ask you, I've seen that you have like a credit card payment solution, just to see if you could talk a little bit about like how fiat would work.
Yeah, well, that's a challenge. Okay, so I'll start with the last and then go to the former. Fiat has been a challenge for Giveth. We actually had a whole Stripe integration. It was awesome. Mateo right there spent a lot of time making it, and Willie spent a lot of time talking to Stripe about why they canceled our account. So you know, it's really hard to do fiat in crypto right now. Giveth is on XDAI and mainnet, and so there aren't really great fiat connection options that give users good UX. So we took it out of scope so we could focus on the GIVeconomy. So right now we don't have a fiat option. We're fully crypto donations. However, we're definitely talking with, yeah, Willie, do you have something to say on fiat?
Sorry, I want to clarify too, because you guys know that there's fiat to crypto solutions, right? If you want to put crypto in your own wallet, but the challenge for us is that we want someone to be able to donate with fiat and the project receives crypto. And if you know anything about regulations and money service business, it's a three-party money transmission, and that's what the regulators don't like. And that's why it's a challenge for us to figure that out. But I mean, we're hoping that situations improve. PayPal's getting into crypto and stuff. And yeah, so it was really sad when Stripe shut down our account for this too. The Stripe thing wasn't even that. We were going fiat to crypto. We were trying to do fiat to fiat donations, but just because we were associated with crypto, Stripe didn't want anything to do with us. So it's really disappointing, but it's a temporary challenge. I have no doubt that we'll be able to solve this in the future. So, thanks.
Yeah.
Awesome. Sorry.
So, Shui, you had what was your first question? Oh, delegation. Yeah. So within Gardens, there is delegation for big projects, for big questions. So there's kind of two governance systems in the Give Garden. There is disputable voting, which is like, what if we want to change the way the economy works? What if we want to make some kind of big structural change that's a yes/no question, then that's actually delegated voting like Gitcoin. But if it's for conviction voting, for allocating funding, there's no delegation. It is if you have an opinion and you want to see a project get funded, it's kind of because it follows a similar donation flow. We don't have delegation yet. However, if someone wants to add that in, they could just make a proposal into the Giveth Gardens, and boom, it would be there.
Thanks so much, man, for your talk. And,
Thank you guys.
Yeah, I'm sure you'll be around if you guys have questions.